Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, season 2 of the Soul Sessions. I'm welcome you back. Now, with me today, she is the leader, Brooke Havok. Welcome to the show, Brooke. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm good. How are you?
Very well. It's great to have you on here. So, for our viewers who may be not too familiar with you, Brooke, what is your journey into the world of professional wrestling? How did that all start?
Yeah, so I started training about 2 years ago, and I'm from California. There's not many, so I had seen Cody Rhodes' applications for his school that he was opening up, the Nightmare Factory. So I had applied, not thinking like anything would come of it, being that I'm in California and it's in Georgia, across the country. But then I ended up getting a call, and I was accepted as one of the 25 students for that very first camp. So I had like a month to pack up all my stuff from my apartment into storage and drive all the way across the country and figure it out. So it was a wild journey, but yeah, I was trained by Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall from the Nightmare Factory.
Oh, wow. Well done for you. We've had a few guests who have been with the Nightmare Factory, Kid Bandit and KG Impala, one half of the dudes in the kimonos. They've detailed their experience with the Nightmare Factory, but I want to know your experience. When you first got there, was it very daunting, or were you very like, oh, you know what, this is easy to get into, with the style there?
It was definitely really, really scary for me. I was nervous, and uh, even though it was like QT and Cody's school, I wasn't really like expecting to possibly like see them every day and stuff like that. And to like go to that first session and they're both there. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. This is actually happening. And they showed up to almost every single one of our classes. They only missed like 1 or 2 days due to like TV and stuff. But we did have them during the pandemic, so we were lucky in that sense. But yeah, after that, it was just everything came like really quick and easy, and I had a lot of fun and like learning from two of the best trainers. It was such a privilege to have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. QT Marshall, done noble work within AEW, being the leader of the factory. And then there's obviously Cody, been TNT champion, and obviously he would go on to move to WWE. From Cody and QT, what's one lesson you think you could take away from both your trainers that you keep with you as a professional?
From Cody, definitely, I would say he helped make me more confident than I've ever been. I'm like
Mm.
a naturally shy, introverted person, and I struggled with promos a lot and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he really helped me work on that and make me feel more confident. And the fact that he believed in me so much made me become more of a confident person. And then QT, he's just like honestly one of the best trainers I've ever seen. He literally can do any style of wrestling, teach any style of wrestling. He's an athletic freak. He could do Phoenix splashes, the whole deal. It's wild. It's crazy. But yeah, I just learned so much from him in a hardworking perspective as well. He cares so much about all of his students and is one of the hardest workers that I've ever seen, especially like his whole story of how long he had been on the independents and everything. But
Mm.
yeah, I just learned so much from both of them.
Wow, well, hey, well done. I mean, they're obviously great, talented wrestlers in themselves, and they've done exceptionally well. Continuing on with the Nightmare Factory, was there any particular fun memories you have from there that you hold on to, just experiences and stuff within the factory?
Yeah, there I do have some fun memories of just like being in that camp setting and having that group of people that you're around like 24/7. We would have 3 hours of strength conditioning, and then we would have the 3 hours of actual class. So just in between those sessions, we'd have an hour to like eat and get ready, prepare for the in-ring sessions, and we would just all hang out or like say, "Hey, can I try this move with you?" or something like that. And I feel like those memories were the most fun for me. Specifically, I had a friend from that camp, Hayden Backlund. He wanted to try the craziest stuff all the time. So it was really fun getting to hang out with him.
Ah, good to hear. Good to hear. We had some UK trainers down here from a promotion in Wales, No Mercy Wrestling, and they talk about their students fitting into roles. Either you're a brawler or a high flyer. Was it hard for you to find your role of style of wrestling, or did you adapt to it very quickly?
It was pretty I kind of fell into the like kind of lucha style really fast just because of my stature and like smallness. And I feel like that was the easiest and most fun for me to learn. But I definitely want to learn more Japanese style of wrestling and British and stuff like that. Um, but yeah.
Nice. Well, who knows? Maybe we could have a Brooke Havok World Tour in 2023. Learn all the styles,
Yeah,
pick them up, and just
exactly.
be the dominant champ. Hey, I'm up for that. That'd be good. Now, moving on to AEW, I know you would have your AEW Dark debut match against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I want to know, how did that match all come to place? Was it just attending the tapings and you were given an opponent, or were you able to pick and select? What was the process of that?
The way it all came about was pretty crazy because after my month camp, I went back home for a couple weeks and then I came back to the Nightmare Factory. They were starting their second camp and I joined the advanced class, the night class, and I had showed up a little bit early to get into workout and Cody had introduced me to his new camp and he was like, "Hey, this is Brooke Havok. She's from the first camp." And he was like, "Hey, Brooke, did you hear? You're going to TV next week." And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" And I literally like I had to fight tears back because I was like, I just had 3 months of training and now I'm going out and getting this opportunity. So it was really a crazy moment for me. But we also had an internship night where we went out to AEW a little bit, like a couple weeks before the camp ended. And I got paired up with Britt Baker, which was cool. She showed me around. We got to see all like how everything runs and stuff like that. And then getting to have a match against her. I didn't know it was against her like from the beginning, but once I showed up, they let me know who I was wrestling, and it was her. And so to have that experience, it was really cool. And I couldn't have asked for like a better person to have my first professional singles match against. So yeah, it was such a cool experience.
Definitely. I mean, watching the match back on YouTube, it's definitely a hell of a fun match as well. Obviously, being in the ring, something I've always been interested in is paying attention to like the cameras and all that. Knowing where you have to be positioned and seeing it there, and like, yeah, that's where the viewers are seeing me, the action there. Do you think it's hard to always adapt to knowing where like the hard cam is and know where everything's been recorded?
Yeah, personally, it was like really hard for me in the beginning and stuff. And as like you have more matches, obviously it gets easier. But it's definitely a thing like you constantly have to think about while you're actually performing in the ring. It's kind of tough sometimes. But then you have like the professionals like Britt Baker being in the ring with her. It was, even though it was my first match, it made it a lot easier. And the nerves kind of went away as soon as like the bell rung.
Right, that's good to hear. We had a Welsh wrestler on, James Ellis, and he talked about having his first match. And when he went backstage, he was overcome with emotion of being like, I've done it. I was able to hang with the best. And, that's feeling the sense of pride. When you finished with Britt and the 1, 2, 3 hit, what were some of the first thoughts going through your head?
It was just all so crazy to me, and I was like, "Oh, like, I actually did it, like, we got the first one out of the way, we're good to go." And then getting to walk back and, like, Cody immediately came back there and talked to me, and we had a little conversation, and he was super proud, so getting to see that he was happy with the match and everything, definitely made me feel a lot better.
Oh, well, good to hear. And Cody must have been proud as well because you would have another match on Dark as well against Layla Hirsch, and Cody would walk out with you. What
Yeah.
was all that about? Was Cody just like, I'm proud of you, I want to come and accompany you to this match, or did you ask like, hey, can you come with me? Be my
No.
backup.
I didn't know he was walking me out to like right before the match was actually happening, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come out with you this match and send you off and stuff." And I was like, "What?" It was like so crazy to me, just having all that support from him. Um, but yeah, it was a wild experience, and it wasn't planned. He just kind of did that, and I believe it's probably because I was like one of his very first students to ever go to dark and stuff. So he was very supportive of me.
Well, hey, well done for you. You must have felt like a bit of pressure, like kind of representing Cody's teaching, sort of, when you go out there and representing. Is that something you feel a bit of pressure on, or do you feel like, you know what, I'm taking this title and I'll run with it because I want to represent a great man who trained me?
I definitely felt all the nerves from that because I was so green at the time and didn't have much experience. It was my first professional match. I was super nervous, and all I wanted to do was make sure that I represented them well and made sure both my trainers, Cody and QT, were proud of me and happy with the match.
Aye, good to hear. Good to hear. Now, I believe you're familiar with a former guest of the Soul Sessions from last year, former AEW member Alan Angels, if I'm correct.
Yes, yes, that is my
Right,
boyfriend.
wrestling's a romance. It's all a love story. How did you and Alan meet?
He actually trained at the Nightmare Factory as well. So like I had seen him and he helped out with our camp when I first came there. But we were just friends for like a year or so. Um, and then after we just started hanging out more and talking more and stuff, and it kind of grew from there.
Hey, pure romance. That's always love to see. Wrestling is a love story, as they say, and it's always joyous and harmonious. Now, Alan's been a member of two notable groups. He's been a member of the Dark Order in AEW, and now he's with Violent by Design in Impact Wrestling. I wanted to know, Brooke, if you given the opportunity, Dark Order or Violent by Design, which group would you like to join?
I would love to join the Dark Order. They're so great. I love Evil Uno. I love all of them. So I would definitely choose them.
Oh,
No hate towards the design, but I feel like I would just fit more with the Dark Order.
the Dark Order are always a lovely bunch. One of my favorite groups in AEW, and hey, they should have been tag champs a long time ago. Hey, Tony Khan, come on, Dark Order for
Yeah,
tag champs. Let's get this rolling 2023.
facts,
No, but
facts.
obviously we're entering 2023. The new year's fresh, and there's a lot of opportunities out there for wrestlers as well. And I want to know, for 2023, is there any particular companies that are on your site? Any matches you want to go for in 2023?
Yes, I do have like a list of people that I'm trying to get this year, and I have a few that I'm getting already that are lined up. Like Masha specifically is one of the biggest ones on my list, and I will be wrestling her at West Coast Pro in February. So I'm really excited about that. The big promotions for me that I want to be at all year and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be West Coast Pro and Prestige, and I have both those debuts in February, so I'm really excited about that. And of course, I want to go to like Canada, the UK, wherever I could find spots and travel. You know.
No, no bad at all. Obviously, some wrestlers always say, I want to get to the big top, WWE, AEW, Impact. If you had to, someone came to you with a contract for your dream company to work with, you know which one you want to work for and why?
That's such a tough one. But definitely, obviously, growing up, AEW wasn't a company that I was able to watch since they're relatively fresh. But like as a kid, that that child, like the young Brooke inside of me, is always saying WWE. But I would definitely be like more than happy with any of the companies: WWE, AEW, Impact, all of that, NWA. So
No,
yeah.
no, not at all. Every opportunity, you got to take it. You never know what you might gain from it. Could be something positive, something
Exactly.
negative, but experience. It's always good to have.
Yeah,
Now,
and I'm super excited to finally, because of all the injuries, I didn't really get to explore the indies too much. So I definitely want that to be one of my goals, is to work across the country as many places as I can.
yeah, especially your injury, because I believe you had an injury like the later half of 2021, and then you were gone for a wee while and came back in 2022. If I'm correct, there, what was that whole situation and an injury? Was it very daunting feeling coming back and then taking that time off, or discuss the whole injury to yourself and what did that mean to you?
Yeah, so the first one was actually in the Layla match. Like halfway
Oh,
through the match, I blew out my knee, and I was able to finish the match. So obviously, like I was happy that I at least got to do that. And then after like the match was over, I was like, I know my knee is busted. So then I went and got the MRI, tore ACL meniscus completely in my left knee, had to have surgery. I was mistakenly told that I would be able to be back 3 to 6 months, which normally ACL and meniscus is like 8 to 12. So
Mm.
I ran with that one saying, and I tried to come back at 6 months, and I was a month in. I was feeling confident, but I had obviously been overdoing it on the right side to compensate for my left knee not being fully recovered. And I ended up tearing ACL, meniscus, partially tore MCL, LCL in my right knee. It was like a full blowout. So that one, I was not able to finish the match. I tried getting up like 3 times, and I could see the whole bottom half of my leg shift, and it just gave out every single time I put weight on it. And I was like, I guess I can't finish this match. And that was the most gutting feeling for me, because I knew I was able to do it the first time. And I was like, I know I could do this, but it was just such a more severe injury. And I didn't know it at the time. I thought I just had the same injury. But yeah, that one took a lot longer to recover. Definitely sucked, but I waited a whole year completely, and now I feel better than ever. I have 2 fresh knees, and I'm actually ready to go this time.
Well, hey, Brooke Havok going full throttle, take that independent scene by storm. That's what we like to see. Now,
Exactly.
obviously, yeah, exactly. You know, Cody would actually have an injury as well. That famous Hell in a Cell imagery of him coming out with that whole torn pec, and it was like, fuck, that is an image and a half. You know, obviously being his pupil, seeing Cody like that, did that give you a bit of like, we're all human, sort of like, yeah, it's like even the trainer I look up to can be injured and power through. You know, what was your feelings as his student seeing that?
Yeah, it was such a crazy sight to see, and everybody knows well, everybody has seen after that match how much Cody actually cares about this and what he will put his body through just like for the business and everything. So it was such uh, a moment of like, yeah, even my trainer will work through these things, and it's super inspiring to watch the whole thing, because you could see how hard somebody works behind the scenes and stuff, and then for it to carry over that much through injuries and stuff was crazy to see. So I always like look up to him. He's such a big idol and mentor to me.
Yeah, well, hey, good to hear. Now, hey, Cody, if you're, somehow you're watching, pal, I would still wish you the best with your recovery and hope you can see that Royal Rumble and take the tights off the, I like to say the tribal twat, Roman Reigns. I definitely would be
Yeah.
happy to see that. Now, Brooke, obviously, something we have to discuss as well. We've seen in WWE, the mixed gender matchup matches, male and female versus another male and female. But I was wondering, like a couple version of that. So, say if you and Alan had to go against another wrestling couple, maybe Chelsea Green, Matt Cardona, John Gresham, and Jordan Grace, what kind of other wrestling couples would you love to face together as a tag team?
I would love to face Sammy and Ty. They're
Oh,
two of
oh.
Alan's friends. We were at their wedding and stuff, so that would be a fun match. Um, Also, I know they're not in the same company, but Rhea and Buddy, that'd be like a super like dream match. But yeah, of course Jordan and Gresham, like they're two really good wrestlers. So yeah, those are a few couples that I would like to face.
Damn, that would be a hell of an interesting sight to see. That match would be a marquee thing. I would love to see that. God. Well, Brooke, I very much appreciate you coming on the Soul Sessions. Very much appreciate it. For me, having every talent on, very much appreciate it. Just to want to help advertise yourself to our viewers. You mentioned before some other dates are coming up, but what other dates in 2023 can viewers see yourself in the ring?
Yes, I actually have a whole list on my social media, and you could follow me at Brooke Havok on all social media, BROOKEHAVOK. I got that handle for everything. So, also, I have a pro wrestling tees shop, prowrestlingtees.com/Brooke Havok. Today I will be in Vallejo at Oasis, and tomorrow I'll be at South Bay Championship Wrestling. So that's this weekend, and then I'll head over to like Washington next weekend.
Oh, hey, class. Well, don't worry, folks. All descriptions for Brooke and her Instagram, as well as our Pro Wrestling Tee store, will be in the description below. So, hey, check her out, follow her, keep up to date with Brooke, leader of the Emo Heads. You know where to find her, folks. Well, hey, Brooke, very much for coming on the Soul Sessions here. And viewers, just remember, all your wrestling needs, check out Wrestling Republic. Follow here for more of the Soul Sessions. I've been your host. So she has been the leader of the Emo Heads, Brooke Havok. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, and have a lovely day.